you can either sum up the verse, make a conclusion, or you can just write the verse. That way you're not done. Done.
Right.
So,
Yeah, why?
well, actually, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna read in Genesis
Okay.
and just do the whole chapter showing what God did. So, Genesis 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters the first day. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, that was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. And he called the light day, and he called the darkness night. So really, I would say a lot of people think that, God created the earth first, then created light and darkness, and then created water. Well, really, when you look into context, water was the first thing to be created of the earth, which means, well, to put this in scientifically, there was a blue planet, just a river and ocean and sea of water floating in space. Now, God, because it actually says that he made water first, and it also says, when it says he made water first, it also says that he had not yet created the earth. So that means that our big blue ball or sphere was actually not created first. The first thing that was created is water. Then comes the earth, and then comes light and darkness. Now, from my understanding, there was darkness first, and then came light, because the earth was just dark. And then God separated the two from light and darkness. So that's a good way that I can explain the first 3 steps of making of earth.
Creating.
Yeah, creation. Because from what I've heard, people only say the earth was created first, and the earth was created first, then comes light and darkness, and then comes water, and then comes animals, and then comes Adam and Eve. So that's actually not how it happened, though, and that's what people don't know. Because, well, I don't want to say this, but I think it's because lack of reading the Bible. And you really have to get into it to really understand how God did this. He created the water first, then the earth, then light and darkness, and then the animals and Adam and Eve. So, why I'm telling you all this is because, well, I want to show you how much God can do. Because God, we say God is all powerful. But what really makes him all powerful in our minds, what really makes him all powerful, what really shows that he's all powerful, is that we believe it, and we sink our teeth into the Bible and really understand how he did it, and that way we can get a good understanding So that was Genesis 1 through 3. And we still have some more Genesis 3. So, and the first, okay, we got the first day. The second day, and God said, "Let there be firmament in the midst of the waters, and let them divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament and the firmament from the waters which were above firmament, and it was so. And even God called the firmament heaven, and in the evening and morning were the second day. So, firmament, when I was I really don't know what firmament means until I read that. I thought firmament meant earth or land. It actually means heaven. So, well, I'll just go to the main thing, the creation of man. I would say the creation of man is probably the most powerful thing God has created, I would say, that we have seen so far. The creation of man. And God said, let make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish and the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So, but then
Yes.
I got a special report that you wanted to hear about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Yes.
So, I'm still out of material. I'm now flying by seat of my pants, so let's just go to him. Yes?
What about angels?
Angels.
Since man is the most powerful thing that God created that we know of, what do you think? What about angels? That's a good question.
Good question.
Angels are, I misspoke. I was not thinking about angels, but
That's a good one.
angels are very powerful. But the thing is, they're only meant to serve one purpose. Do what God said to do. Like we see with the devil. The devil, Lucifer, is actually an angel, we noticed. But the thing is, the reason he was kicked out of heaven is because he wanted to be like God. He was chosen to be musically, and God made angels for one specific purpose. They only have one chance. He only had one chance. And if an angel makes one mistake, then they're kicked out or put to
Is there
death.
anything that references this in the Bible? I'm wondering where you got that. It's interesting. I'd like to read up on it first.
The verses. Well, the verses that really will kind of give you a perspective of that is, Brother Dan, what verses talk about the devil being kicked out of heaven?
I don't
He was
remember.
a music director.
Well, the angels get one chance. That's kind of what I was more thinking of. You know what you said? Angels are created for purpose. They only get one chance. If they don't fulfill that purpose, boom.
Yeah, but I think really, well, I've never even heard of a verse that mentioned that, but what I would say you have to do is, the Bible really doesn't tell us that angels are like that, but you have to look at the verses about how Lucifer was kicked out. He was only made to serve one purpose, music director. He disobeyed that purpose and he got kicked out. So really with this subject, you kind of have to, you have to kind of make an assumption of that, because there's no like specific verse except
that
for
you
the
know
ones
of.
about Lucifer. Well, Lucifer's verses are the only ones that the verses about Lucifer are the only ones that I would say really give you a clue about that. So it's like I said, it's kind of like a assumption and a taking what you have and making a prediction about what it really is. That's what I would say you would have to do.
So Lucifer was kicked out then. He didn't leave on his own.
No, he was
Because of
kicked out.
disagreements, he actually got kicked out.
Yes, God kicked him out of heaven.
Right.
Because Lucifer wanted to actually,
He wanted to be God because Lucifer thought that he was so big and powerful and good looking that he could take the role of God. So one day he said, "Hey God, can we swap places?" And he disobeyed his purpose because Gabriel, he had a purpose. He had a purpose to tell Mary that she was going to be delivering the Son of God. Now, let's say Gabriel said, "God, no, I am going to be the worship leader." That is disobeying their purpose and causing them to get kicked out.
Yeah.
So, I would say the angels are the most powerful, but are the most best creation. But then there's a side that they aren't, because we have forgiveness chances. But angels don't. So, if they were the best creation God made, then, well, I'm trying to think of a good way to explain it than saying God doesn't have pity on them. Because God doesn't have pity, so I can't say that. So, I would just say, honestly, my belief is that we are probably the best creation God has made. Because, well, angels don't
We're created in
get...
His likeness. So
What?
that we're created in His likeness. So I think
Exactly.
that'd be the best.
Angels aren't.
Right.
And really, if you look in Genesis, God said that we shall create them in our image. So that I believe that he's talking to the angels. And if he's talking to the angels, that gives us a clue that God has not made them in his own image.
Right.
He's saying, I think we should make humans in my own image. So
well,
that means
if you
the
remember
angels...
now, if you remember now, that God said, let's make him in our image. Our means the Jesus, the Holy Spirit,
Right.
and God.
Right.
So let's make him in our image.
And we have to understand that when God said this, he was not saying this to, the angels have been made before us. So that means that they had already been created. God didn't make them in his own image. Then he says to Jesus, the Holy Spirit, hey, let's make humans, us, in my own image. So that means the angels were not created in God's own image. Therefore, we are probably the greatest creation God has made so far.
I agree.
Life-wise.
Right.
Space is probably the greatest creation.
That's
Not a lot. But,
pretty cool.
so that, I would say that should give a good understanding to that question. Anybody else have any more questions?
I have a statement. Did you know angels are scary looking?
They are?
Very scary looking. I did a research on them, and the research I did said that they stand about 9 feet tall, and if you were actually to see one in real life,
Oh,
it
yeah.
would look like a monster to you. That's why every time an angel reveals itself to somebody in the Bible, first thing it says is fear not. Because if you saw one, you'd be scared to death.
Well, he can testify to that. Father?
Oh, hey.
You look at
Father,
her volunteer. That's great.
testimony,
Hey,
please.
no,
Testimony.
Is that because of their power? Because of how powerful they are?
Yeah.
Because of how monsters look.
Hey,